Godzilla is now in New York City.
Monster 01 and 02, commence the attack.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Something This Way. Andrew, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right.
That's good. That's good. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome. I try.
Well, we're getting a break from Roger Corman this week
Thank God.
and doing another cheap monster movie.
Not as cheap.
Definitely not as cheap.
You could actually tell what the monster was.
We'll talk about all that. But Andrew, what movie are we watching?
Well, we're watching this week the monster that challenged the world.
That's right. That's right. Courtesy of Amazon Prime. Not sponsored by Amazon Prime, but would accept such sponsorship. Yes, alternate titles. Not really alternate titles, more working titles for the screenplays before they were filmed. But the original screenplay was titled The Jagged Edge.
Makes no sense.
No, and then it was changed to The Kraken.
Slightly more sense.
A little more sense. But then before it came out, it was titled The Monster That Challenged the World. So, kind of a clunky title. A lot of words there. But anyway, production trivia. Did you know that this was featured as the A-side of a double feature with The Vampire when it was released?
Whoa.
Ooh.
It got the A side.
It was the A-side. The story is by David Duncan, who wrote such movies as The Time Machine and Fantastic Voyage, sci-fi classics. I don't think I've seen either one of them. I'm missing out. But Time Machine is, of course, I just forgot his name. The guy that wrote like The Invisible Man and all that stuff. Totally went blank. And Fantastic Voyage is that movie where they like shrink down in a little ship and go inside the human body and do all that stuff.
I saw that in the Magical School Bus.
Well, a lot of things have done it since. Gamera's done it, Osmosis Jones, but it started with a movie in the 60s called Fantastic Voyage. This was filmed over the course of 16 days. They shot it in California. Most of the underwater scenes were filmed at Catalina Island, although the close-ups were filmed in a tank with plastic seaweed.
Remember in the days where it took not almost over a year to film a movie?
Well, the good movies, they took longer. But these little drive-in movies, they got these in and out quick. But and you know that the woman on the poster in the bikini is not the star of the movie, Audrey Dalton, but instead it's that chick that gets killed. I put in the opening, but it's actually about 20 minutes in, I think, when her and her boyfriend go to the beach. You don't even really see the monster get her. She like screams a little bit and goes under the water or something.
Yeah, goes underwater.
But it got front and center on the poster. So congratulations to her, I guess. But anyway, Andrew, what happened at the box office?
Not much, as we can see.
Not much.
It was released in 1957.
In June of 1957.
In June.
I don't know the exact day. Wikipedia didn't know, but sometime in June of 1957.
it was a day.
Mm-hmm.
But in a budget of $200,000, not bad.
Better than those Roger Corman movies.
Yeah, that had no budget.
Had no budget. But you want to listen to the trailer?
Sure.
And then we'll come back and we'll list off the cast and crew and the plot summary, and we'll talk all about the monster that challenged the world. See you in a bit.
An upheaval of nature tears loose a creature out of the nightmare of time. Spawned by an earthquake on the bed of the ocean. A reptilian, earth-shaking beast of the sea. The monster that challenged the world.
My tank.
What's wrong?
Blake's tank is caught in the undergrowth.
God! What happened?
Oh my God, his body. He died right in front of me. I couldn't help him. I've got to go back.
Talk sense. What's down there?
I don't know. I never saw anything like it before.
It's the size of a dinosaur, and 10 times more terrifying, hurling the horrors of the unknown at every living thing. The most blood-curdling monster of the age.
Well, there it was. There were some shots, you couldn't see it, Andrew, or the audience, but there were some shots in that trailer that were definitely not in the movie. There was a shot of it like getting, like, had a girl in its little legs. And there was a shot at the end of the trailer of like a giant head of one of them like superimposed behind like New York City or something. But anyway, yeah. Plot summary is more or less. Oh no, I'm sorry. Cast and crew. I almost always skip that part. Cast and crew. This was directed by Arnold Levin, written by Pat Fielder and David Duncan, music by Heinz Eric Romheld, and starring Tim Holt and Audrey Dalton. And the plot summary is more or less as follows. When 2 U.S. Navy personnel are found dead under mysterious circumstances in the Salton Sea, Lieutenant Commander John Twillinger, that was his name. It's a weird name. Known as Twill, is assigned to investigate. To help uncover the cause, he enlists local scientist Dr. Jess Rogers. Rogers soon discovers that a strange white substance found aboard the victim's boat is radioactive, prompting the investigation to intensify. Meanwhile, Twill begins a romance with Gail, a widowed mother whose husband died 2 years earlier. As their relationship blossoms, the danger grows. When a young couple disappears, divers are sent to the bottom of the sea, where they discover a strange egg and are attacked by a giant sea mollusk. They manage to surface as the creature emerges as well, but Twill stabs it in the eye, forcing it to retreat. The egg is taken back to the lab and placed in chilled water to prevent it from hatching. Dr. Rogers theorizes that there may be several more of the creatures in the area, each capable of laying thousands of eggs. Fearing the mollusks could escape into the canal system, authorities establish constant patrols. After a lock supervisor is killed, the Navy finally locates the group of creatures and destroys them with depth charges. Back at the lab, however, Gail and her daughter Sandy are trapped when the egg hatches. Twill and Dr. Rogers arrive just in time. As Rogers runs for help, Twill distracts the monster long enough for Gail and Sandy to escape. Officers soon arrive and riddle the creature with bullets, killing it. In the end, Twill, Gail, and Sandy walk happily down the pavement, together, as the screen fades to black. More or less?
More or less.
More or less the movie. Well, it's evident from like the first 30 seconds that after the title comes up anyway,
Yeah.
that this is, a much more competent movie than the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
You know, they can actually afford like sets and props.
Good
and
film.
Extras and good quality film stock
Mm-hmm.
and competent cinematography, the things you need to make a movie.
Competent actors.
Competent actors. It's quite astounding. And I will say, just up front, the restoration on this movie, on the version of it on Amazon Prime, is really top notch. The movie looks really good. I can understand the dialogue.
I don't think there's any sort of restoration that could have made that other movie any better.
The last two movies.
Yeah.
Now I think there is a restoration out there of that one we watched last week. The what did we watch last week? The Beast from Haunted Cave.
Yeah.
We didn't watch that version of the movie, but I think Arrow Video has one out there. Now we did go back just to see if it was any better and turned on the Amazon Prime transfer of Attack of the Giant Leeches.
Yeah.
But if anything, it was worse than the DVD that we
Yeah.
watched. So there, I don't know if there is a restoration of Attack of the Giant Leeches out there, but
If there
anyway.
is, I don't know if any restoration could.
I mean,
help
maybe
it.
it would be terrible no matter what. But anyway, we're getting off track. Let's get back to this week's movie. So, or the monster that challenged the world. Yeah, so it starts out and there's these naval officers like testing parachutes
Parachute test dudes.
or something, and they're in the what was it, the Salton Sea in California.
It was when parachutes were first, coming a big thing, and they were testing them out.
I guess I think parachutes have been around for a while, but whatever. Point is, there's a couple of the guys out testing parachutes, and they're parachuting into this Salton Sea, and the boat's going out to pick them up, but their bodies aren't there. And
Well,
then
there's only one.
the one's body is not there.
Yeah.
And there's two people on the boat though, and they don't find the guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one guy like dives in, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't see him get got, but he gets got.
Yeah.
And then the guy on the boat, we see like a shadow like
Mhm.
rise up out of the water over his face.
Yeah.
And he does like this, and we assume he does indeed get got. But
he didn't get got. He did die of a straight up.
he
stroke.
died of it. Yeah. He had a stroke and died. But,
Died from literal fear.
Yeah. I don't know why the monster didn't suck him dry, but
You can't die. You can't kill somebody that's already dead.
well, the nutrients though. But anyway, so then we're gonna meet our main character, this Lieutenant Commander Twillinger.
Schwillinger.
The name. He's like the naval investigation. He's like the NCIS. And
Oh goodness.
oh no, where is Mark Harmon? And he is here to investigate. And he's already in a grumpy mood because like a dozen officers have already gone AWOL this week. And like apparently they like to have fun on this base.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he goes out and they go out to the boat, and there's this weird white substance on the boat, and he turns it into, he goes and meets Dr. Jess Rogers.
Rogers.
And at this doctor's office, at the scientist's office, there is this Miss Gale working as the secretary.
Yes.
And, she's very sweet and everything.
Yeah.
And she also has a friend, a pregnant blonde woman. I thought the pregnant blonde woman was married to Dr. Rogers.
No.
But she's married
He
to
was
another scientist
The
there.
assistant. One of the assistants to Dr. Rogers.
Mhm. The assistant to the scientist.
Mhm.
But
The secondary scientist.
anyway, and after, and there's this whole bit where her daughter, Sandy, Gail's daughter, Sandy, comes in, and she's got a ladybug. And this is where we're supposed to like Twill because he plays with the ladybug or whatever, and then loses it, probably kills it. But
Yeah.
and then all this, and then after he leaves, the other chick is like, "Did you ask if he was available, or did you tell him you were available?" And
Yeah.
even though I'm like, that's gross. He's old enough to be her dad. But who stopped? That didn't stop anybody in the 50s, did it?
No.
Yeah. And so, listen, it's obviously a better produced movie than, like I said, those movies we've been watching. It's still a cheap movie.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes before, about 20 minutes in, when that chick and her boyfriend go to the beach and they get got, but we don't see them getting got. We see her like get dragged into the water or something, but we don't see the creature. It's not till about 30 minutes in that we're actually going to get to see the creature. It's because these divers go under the water. they're, testing because they found out that substance is radioactive. So they're seeing that the sea floor is radioactive or whatever.
And the sea was somehow deeper than what it has been.
Yeah, because we saw at the beginning there was like an earthquake and the
Mhm.
canyon opened up and, whatever. But anyway,
Mhm.
they find this egg
Yeah.
underwater. They don't know it's an egg at first, but
Mhm.
they find it and they're trying to cut it loose. And then the one guy gets tied up in the seaweed.
Mhm.
And then he gets attacked by the mollusk.
Well, they cut. No, that was after they cut the. That's after they sent the egg up.
Yeah, they cut the egg free.
That was trying to get the girl free.
Oh yeah, they found the girl's body. You're right.
Mhm.
And then that's when he gets tied up in the seaweed,
Mhm.
and he gets attacked by the mollusk. While the other guy's like, "I'm out.
Yeah.
Peace." and then so he services, and then the mollusk, it's a snail.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't even look like a snail. But we'll talk about that.
Well,
in
snails
creature
are in the
design.
mollusk family.
Whatever. It's a giant snail. It rises up out of the water and attacks. And but old Twill there, he gets on that boat and he pokes its eye out, and it goes away. But they've got the egg and they take it back to the lab and they put it in like some cold water to keep it from hatching. And of course, they make a big deal out of the temperature gauge. So later in the movie, something's going to break or something, and that temperature is going to go up. But we got a long time before we get there.
Oh, yeah.
Then we go well over half an hour without any monster. There's a whole lot of sitting around talking about where the monster might be at, what they need to do.
Them driving around.
They go and visit this
weird cookie.
This weird like museum curator, and he's talking about he goes on a rant about this Proposition 14A
Yeah.
that they couldn't pass, and that's where they would have stored all their maps, but it didn't pass, so they don't have any maps because they're looking for a map for this supposed underwater river that they might have come out of or something. I don't really know, but
Yeah, they gave where did they give him all the maps? He said he gave all the maps to where?
the library.
The library.
Yeah. And they've already checked at the library. But anyway. And then meanwhile, we're getting this romance subplot between Twill and Gale.
Oh, yeah.
And it's awful.
Terrible.
Just really tanks the pacing of this movie. They go to dinner, and it's like the least romantic dinner ever.
Yeah.
And I'm still just kind of grossed out because he's old enough to be your dad. And, it's just kind of uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. They look uncomfortable. We're all uncomfortable.
She really does look uncomfortable.
And, it is an unfortunate part of the movie. But the movie's only 84 minutes, so they got to fill the runtime somehow, I guess. Yeah. And the characters are cardboard. I don't like the main characters, Gale and Twill and Dr. Rogers. Like, could not care less. There's a couple of mildly engaging supporting characters, like the guy with the map or whatever. He's just kind of weird and kooky and kind of mildly funny. There's this one, the switchboard operator who's always talking to her mom on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mom. They haven't told me, Mom. I'll call you later, Mom. But for the most part, the characters are very boring. Could not care less. But anyway, finally, a little over an hour into the movie, there's this old like lock supervisor guy, because they're like shutting down all the locks because they think they're going to get through the locks or whatever. And one of the locks accidentally crushes one of the creatures, I think.
And that's after the one dude dies, right?
I think that's before. Or is it after? I don't know. But the old guy, first time he hears somebody out splashing in the water, and turns out to be a couple of kids.
And it's a different old dude.
Yeah, and then later he goes out again and he hears the noises, but he's attacked and killed. And this is the first time we've seen the mollusk since about 30 minutes in. This is like a little over an hour in. And then they're going to do some more patrolling and going back and forth. And I think before that, they found some, maybe it was after that, they found some kids that had been attacked by the mollusk or something. Anyway, long story short, they eventually find like the nest of them. and they go down, and there's a scene of them planning depth charges, and one of the guys almost gets got because he can't pull the pin out of the depth charge or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think Twill's actually down there diving with them, and he helps him out and gets him up, and they make it go kaboom, but they can't afford the explosion, so we just,
Here they go boom.
hear the kaboom.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then literally with about like 6 minutes left in the movie,
Yeah.
we're gonna go back to the lab where Gail is working.
Well,
And I guess we had seen earlier where her daughter had gone in, and she likes to talk to the lab rabbits, and the rabbits were cold, so she went and turned up the thermostat.
yeah.
So you know what's gonna happen. And now, with about 6 minutes later, we cut back, and the tank is warming up, and the daughter goes to talk to the rabbits, and they've all been eaten. And then she turns around, and there's the mollusk, and she screams, and her mom runs in, and they like hide themselves in the supply closet.
Utility closet.
Yeah, and is trying to break in, like like Jack Nicholson in The Shining or something.
Here's mollusk.
Here's the mollusk. And meanwhile, Twill and Rogers are driving back. They think about stopping for breakfast,
They
but
take
they just
a long time to get back there.
they did have, like you said, they had a car phone. I didn't know they had car phones in the 50s, but apparently they
Maybe
did.
the military.
I mean, it's probably only the military, but anyway, but they can't get through because the line's busy. But they come in, and Dr. Rogers goes running for help. And I think it's pretty hilarious because they have the shot, right, of Twill. And behind him, there's like three things. There's glass bottles, a fire extinguisher, and an axe. He will never go for the axe.
No.
He throws the glass bottles at it
He
first.
throws like liquid at it all, everything.
Then he gets the fire extinguisher and sprays it, and that distracts it long enough for Gail and
her
Sandy
daughter.
to get out and run away. And I'm like, oh, now he's gonna go for the axe. But then he like pulls.
The nitroglycerin thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's like I don't know if it's like nitroglycerin hose or like the coolant hose or whatever for the tank, and sprays the monster with coolant.
And then the military arrives.
And it's like, oh, he's gonna die from the cold, and then the military shows up and just riddles it with bullets.
they gun it down. They're like, dun, 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 dun.
And then it dies.
Yes.
And then we cut outside, and Twill and Gail and Sandy are like all a happy family now or something, and they go skipping down the sidewalk, and movie's over.
Together forever.
No matter how far. And yeah, the movie's over. So yeah. What'd you think?
It was a movie.
It is a movie.
It was marginally better than the last Roger Corman films.
It was definitely better than the Roger Corman movies. Like I said, you can tell the difference in production values. I mean, they obviously didn't have a lot of money for this movie.
But they used it way better
But they
than
actually like an
Roger
actual
Corman.
creature instead of like a dime store creation.
Yeah.
They had, like I said, sets, props, on location filming, professional cinematography, extras, supporting actors, real actors, lighting, the basics.
Yeah, and not filming multiple movies at the same time.
Yeah, well, probably not. But I mean, they still shot it really fast. But yeah, like it looked more professional. So that's good. And like I said, and we'll talk about the creature design and all of that. Much bigger improvement over some movies we've been watching. But yeah, it's still cheap. There are some cheap moments. You can tell that they don't have a lot of money for the creature because it's barely on screen.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of runtime filler with the love story and, talking to military personnel about what to do and, sheriff deputies
any
and
good
patrol
50
cars
movies.
making jokes and, like any good 50s B monster movie, you're right. And the characters are boring. Like a couple of mildly entertaining supporting characters, but yeah, nothing special. Nothing too special. But anyway. Creature design?
Sure.
Creature design.
Sure.
So the mollusk, to me, it looked a lot more like a caterpillar than a snail.
That's a weird looking caterpillar.
I mean, it looks weird no matter what you think it is, but it looks more like a caterpillar, like with the segmented body and the little like
I think
insect
it looked like
legs.
more of like a centipede than a caterpillar.
Maybe like a centipede. It's got like the mandibles
Yeah.
and like the multiple
like a
legs and
A millipede almost.
segmented body. Does not really look like a mollusk at all. But they give them shells later.
Yeah.
And it's got like these big like white eyes and all of that.
Mhm.
But I think again, coming off those Roger Corman movies where it was literally like paper mache and chicken wire.
Yeah.
A big improvement over that, right? And I do kind of like the design as a monster. I think it looked kind of creepy, especially with those big white eyes.
Yeah.
And you can like, and then the big sequence at the end in the lab. I mean, you can tell like when it rips around and stuff. It's on it. They got it like on a trolley or whatever.
Yeah.
But they've got a pretty impressive like life size model puppet thing
of the creature.
of the creature, and so that's cool. And then getting into effects, I mean,
They're better than any we saw the last 2
better than the
weeks.
Roger Corman movies. I kind of like the body dummies, like when they've been
Yeah.
sucked dry of all their like
They actually look
fluids.
decent.
Like that first one actually kind of. I mean, it looks cheesy, but kind of creepy at the same
It
time.
looked almost like it was skinned.
Yeah, it was really the skin was really dark and the eyes were bugging
Mm-hmm.
out, and then the same thing with the woman's body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the mollusks. They look pretty good, and they,
Yeah.
you can tell they're on trolleys, but all that looks pretty good. I would say the one really unfortunate thing is the egg. I mean, which is clearly just like a giant plastic bag they fill with water.
Yeah.
But, you can't have it all. I will say that the underwater photography actually looks pretty good in the wide shots.
Mhm.
Now in the close up, it's clear that they're just like in a tank or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the wide shots, the underwater photography is pretty good. So I appreciate they did that. Like I said, the cinematography is pretty good. They went out and filmed on a lot of like real locations and had some decent sets that they couldn't afford in those Roger Corman movies. So they went
didn't
out. It looked like they
afford-
went out and filmed on a boat for quite a bit of that.
they didn't
so.
afford any sets in the Roger Corman movie.
No, they didn't really.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed all of that stuff. I thought not bad, except for the plastic bag posing as an egg. I mean, not too bad, not too shabby.
You can't have it all there. And
Can't have it all. I wish there was more effects, more monsters, but is what it is. And then the score is fine, pretty
Yeah.
generic 50s B monster movie stuff. Nothing too special, but
not it's there. It gets you through the movie.
gets the job done.
Gets to point A to point B.
That's right. But anyway, you ready for final thoughts?
Sure.
Why don't you go for it?
Well, like I said, this movie it's an improvement over the last couple of weeks. It's as the actual acting and effects, score, everything you need to make a competently made film. Budget, especially.
Yeah.
An actual budget.
Yeah.
I think it all works. It works, for a film. The actors do what they're supposed to. You can understand what they're saying and, what they're doing and where they're actually at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, the effects are not bad. Most effects, decent. You don't, it doesn't pull you out of the movie. They're not like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I think the acting is pretty good. They're like most these B movie, Monster 50 movies, their acting is, bland, but, at least they know how to act.
Yeah, the characters are poorly written, but the actors do their job.
They say their lines.
Yeah.
Especially that museum guy. He gets into character.
I did love one of Gail. She was like talking to him, and she was first really talking to Twill, and she was talking about her husband. And he's like, "Yeah, he passed away 2 years ago, and it's really hard at first, and you tell yourself it's not real, and blah blah blah." And then she stops for a moment, and then she says, "But that was 2 years ago. I'm over it now."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay,
Wow.
wow."
Sometimes you just get over it.
I guess.
2 years, you're like, oh well,
Oh well,
it happened.
it happened.
Time to get on my life.
Yeah.
Oh, look, new man. I mean, I think I'll give this movie. I'll give it a C minus.
Okay, yeah. Listen, again, we've said it several times. A big improvement over those Roger Corman movies we've been watched. It feels like it actually had a production budget. Some professional people behind the camera.
Yeah.
But it's still a cheap 50s B monster movie. The monster's not on screen very much. The characters are cardboard. There are some unfortunate effects, particularly that egg. The romance subplot is boring and just really tanks the pacing. Even though it's a short movie, it is thankfully short at like 84 minutes or whatever. The transfer, someone did a good job restoring the movie. Like I said, I always appreciate that. The love story is also kind of gross because he's like, twice her age or whatever. But
That's with any 50 movie.
that's
really.
pretty common in the 50s, in the movies in the 50s, though. But listen, I appreciate getting back to a movie that had actually like some real effort put into the monsters. So that's definitely a plus. But it's still not a very good movie. I'll give it like a D plus, I guess.
Oh.
But yeah. Maybe we'll be getting to some better movies soon. We'll see.
You're funny, man.
We'll see. But anyway, you want to talk about a little bit of news?
Sure.
Well, Godzilla Minus Zero, a couple of things. I don't know if I said this yet, but it is going to get a worldwide IMAX release when it comes out this fall. So we'll have to get some IMAX tickets maybe. We did that with Godzilla Minus One and go see that in IMAX.
Yeah, we did that the first time. Then the other 7-8 times we went and watched it in our own theater.
Yeah. We don't have, our local theater doesn't have an IMAX screen,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to drive a little ways. Only an hour to get to the closest one, I
Yeah.
guess. A little over an hour to get to but we have to drive a little bit to get to an IMAX screen. So we only do it for big occasions. There's 2 or 3 movies this year I want to see on IMAX. Odyssey,
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla, obviously, maybe Spielberg's new movie. Maybe Doomsday. We'll just have to see. But anyway, getting off topic. But the big thing is they have announced that the first footage will debut at CinemaCon in Las Vegas on April 14th. Director Yamazaki will be there to unveil the new footage. And I don't know when it'll be made public, if it'll be made public immediately or they'll try to keep it under wraps for a while and make it a CinemaCon exclusive or whatever. But somebody will leak it, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so
people have their phones.
Yeah. But anyway, so look forward to that. And then I did see, again, not around us. We don't have an Alamo around us. And I know Alamo Draft House is under a lot of scrutiny lately because of their new cell phone mobile ordering app or whatever. But Alamo Draft House will be showing 4 films in the coming months, 4 Godzilla movies, 3 they've announced, 1 mystery movie, old Showa era movies, I believe, as part of this little kaiju thing they're doing once a month for the next 4 months. So look forward to that if you've got an Alamo next close by, I guess. That'll be exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's all the news I have. Do you remember what's coming up on the schedule? Well, next week, I think we've got one more 50s B monster movie. Yeah, The Crawling Eye. Ooh.
Oh, God. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. And then as we get into April, we're going to celebrate Kong's birthday with The Mighty Kong, that animated musical. It's on Tubi. Some dinosaur movies, 1 million BC, 1 million years BC. And then we'll be capping off April with Grizzly. And, doing all that kind of stuff. We got Grizzly. Then we got, we'll be doing the Monarch Season 2 recap at the beginning of May. Then the recently rediscovered film, Grizzly 2.
Oh, no.
Then Razorback. I finished that book, Razorback, here about a week or so ago. So I'll be ready to talk about that. I hope the movie is not what the book was. And then we'll be getting into our Jaws and Deep Blue Sea marathon as the summer season kicks off. So look forward to all of that. But
so what he's saying is we have a while to any good movies.
Potentially. Yes. Maybe until Jaws, but
Jaws and Deep Blue Sea.
yeah, well, yeah, Deep Blue Sea. I don't even know that's a good movie, but I think that's about it for this week, don't you, Andrew?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, don't forget that you can always contact us at stomp-this-way1954@gmail.com.
And you can find our website at www.stomp-this-way.wordpress.com.
That's right. And you can also find us on social media at X, Instagram, and Facebook at Stomp This Way. And don't forget about our new podcast, Pulse Check, a horror movie podcast where we talk about, you guessed it, horror movies.
No way.
And, we just got done talking. We're doing a meta slasher theme this month, so we're doing Scream and Behind the Mask. We'll be doing Urban Legend soon, and we'll be doing a really fun thing at the end of March. Shouldn't have been scary, but maybe kind of was movie, and Return to Oz. Check all that out, and don't forget next week is The Crawling Eye. And as always, I'm Aaron.
I'm Andrew.
And we'll see you next time.